Okay, don't move. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast. You're like, is this a podcast? Oh, yes, it is. Do you know why? Because it is Tune In Tuesday. I know, I'm like you. I never know what day of the week it is. But the Be a Paid Speaker Now podcast is intended to help you if you are an expert and you want to monetize your magnificence. You want to be paid to speak, whether you're at a conference or at a virtual conference or at a webinar. Every week, we interview expert speakers who have experience in marketing and mindset to help you set yourself up for success. And today, we have a very special guest. But before I introduce her, I want to let you know a lot of you have been messaging me and asking me about how to start an online program. Why? Because you're ready to pivot. You want to have an extra stream of passive income. And how can you do that? By creating an online group coaching program, a mastermind, a membership. What do I use for my program, you ask? Kajabi. And Kajabi, spelled Kajabi, allows you to have a 28-day free trial. So if any of you are interested in getting that 28-day free trial, no problem. You're going to be able to get a link for a free trial at beapaidspeakernowpodcast.com. Is that easy to remember or what? Beapaidspeakernowpodcast.com. You can click on the link to get your 28-day free trial. Okay, you ready for the show? I know I am. You're like, I'm born ready, right? So without any further ado, I am going to, I forgot to mention. So I'm using Kajabi for the Be a Paid Speaker Now Online Academy. And the Be a Paid Speaker Now Online Academy is everything that I learned over 20 years as a paid speaker. I have a 70-page speaker's Bible. I have my speaker's contract. I have a template on how to do a keynote speech. And I'm adding, Carol Ann, you're going to be excited about this. I'm adding how to give dynamic virtual webinars. Ooh la la. You are going to love that. And that's all a part of the Be a Paid Speaker Now Academy. Where can you get that? Oh, well, it's so easy. It's at beapaidspeakernow.com. All right. So we are ready because today we have a very special guest host that's going to interview me. And her name is Dr. Carol Ann DeSounds. She is a certified mastery consultant who works especially with women who want to get out of toxic relationships. She helps these women create richer, more fulfilling lives by discovering how to create a life they absolutely love. And she helps them to make it happen with her speaking, with her coaching, and with her group programs. Please help me welcome Dr. Carol Ann.
Hi, Deborah. It's good to see you finally in this time of staying at home.
I know. It's so great to see you. And Carol Ann and I are kindred spirits. We're literally sisters from another mister. How do I know? Because we dressed exactly alike, right, Carol Ann?
Yes. And we think alike in some ways.
It's so true. That's why when I first met you, I think when you were in an audience of one of my speaking gigs, right?
I think so.
We just had this special connection. When I looked around the room, I was just looking at Carol Ann. And Carol Ann was sitting, remember, in the front row. And
Yep.
she was nodding her head like, yeah, I'm like, this is my people. So before I turn over the show to you, because you are the host today, I want to just let people know how you got started as a coach and a speaker and how you're in the field of helping people get out of these traumatic relationships.
All righty. Well, I was a modern language professor, and when I retired, I realized that I had something special because I spent 16 years trying to fix my husband. And I finally learned that, no, you can't fix other people. And I found support in being able to find myself again after a violent alcoholic marriage. And when I quit teaching, I discovered the Mary Morrissey Institute for Brave Thinking, and I became one of her coaches. And I love being able to help people not spend 16 years trying to figure it all out. And it's a wonderful opportunity for me, and I hope I'm really helping people discover their power within,
I
their
love
mind, body, spirit alignment.
I love that. I love that. And ever since I met you, you've been consistent and focused on this passion. And that's where we really align as well, because my whole goal with the podcast is to help people. It took me 18 years to discover how to have a lucrative business as a paid speaker. And I don't want the listeners out there to take that time. I want them to fast track it. And so that's why we have the podcast. That's why I have the online academy and all these resources. And I know you've taken the course yourself.
Yes.
I'm really looking forward to hearing some of your questions that you have.
Yes. Well, I loved the course, and I really, now that we have the stay at home is coming out a little bit, but I think like online stuff I want to do more of. And so, how do I get paid as a speaker on doing a webinar?
Yeah, so the speaking industry, I had a lot of amazing guests the last couple of weeks, even during the time of the quarantine, the pandemic. Amazing speakers like Cheryl Roush came, who has over 30
Hmm.
years experience in the speaking industry. And basically what she said based on the economic projections is, for the most part, conferences for the year 2020 are basically canceled, on hold, or maybe later in the fall or towards the end of the last quarter, like a hybrid of part virtual and part online. And so when you think about your message, Carol Ann, which is so important, they say, I don't know what the statistics are, but there are more people that are dealing with domestic violence and in toxic relationships now than ever with the stay home. So the stay home has really affected the people that are your people, my friend. I'm getting passionate because I really care about I care about you and I care about your message. And so you cannot wait, Carol Ann, until conferences are back on to pitch yourself to speak. You have to right now be doing webinars. And this is for all of you. Whatever it is that you are passionate about, that you're an expert in, just because we're on lockdown, just because we're at stay home, just because we're on curfew, whatever we're on this week, you can't let that stop you from getting your message out, because you are a messenger for an important message. So this is what I would coach you on. I love coaching you, Caroline. Uh, every coach has a coach, right? I have a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm honored to be yours. So I definitely would create a webinar, maybe like a 45-minute webinar that really touches on the top pain and problems that your target market has. And in your case, your target market, that person that's in the toxic relationship. So maybe their challenge is not being able to speak up for themselves, or maybe their challenge is not having the money or the resources to be able to leave, or maybe their challenge is they have a love-hate relationship with the toxic relationship. So
Yeah.
part of them wants to leave, but part of them wants to stay. So, and this is for all of you. Everyone, write this down. Think of the top pains and problems your target market has, and start creating a webinar around it. So here's how your webinar is going to be, and this is how you're going to get paid, Carolyn. So, of course, the first slide is basically, I'm going to give you the whole slide deck for your webinar. The first slide is your story, right? Because facts tell and stories what? Sell.
Story sell.
Stories sell, right? So you'll tell your story, and you'll say, back when I was married for 16 years, I was in a toxic relationship. And I took this Mary Marcy Life Mastery course and I learned blah, blah, blah. And I was able to leave. And that's what I coach people on. But then you go, next slide, you go into pain, solution, pain, solution, pain, solution. And this is going to be, by the way, this 45-minute webinar that we're putting together for you and everybody listening, your webinar. It's going to be, I recommend, totally free, because this is your teaser. This is your pink spoon, taste the yogurt, taste so that you want to buy the whole thing of the yogurt, right? So here
Yes.
you are, Caroline, you're introducing yourself, you're telling your story, how you got over it. Then you're giving the pain solution, pain solution, pain solution. And you know the three pains, like I told you, whatever they are. And then at the end of it, you give them some sort of a invitation, call to action to get on the phone with you for that complimentary 30-minute session to see if they want to work with you one-on-one. Or you give them an invitation to join your group program. Maybe the people in this situation can't afford you, Carol Ann. So
Yeah.
I really recommend this is for everyone. I've got a lot of feedback from coaches because not everyone is working right now. Not everybody has the disposable income to have a one-on-one coach, which is why group coaching programs are great because it's your same time, your same energy, your same message, but you're making it accessible to more people. And now with the beauty of Zoom, you can do that. So you can invite people to your group program that's like Take Back Your Life program or
Yeah.
Take Your Power Back program. Oh, you like
Yeah.
that,
I
Carolyn?
like that. Yes, indeed.
The key word you use was power, and like what you do is empower women. So something like
Yes.
the empowerment program, the Take Back Your Life program, and you could say so you do the webinar 45 minutes, and what I would do is I would use a system like Webinarjam. Have you heard of Webinarjam,
I'm
Carolyn?
not no, tell me about that.
So this is a tool that could really help you because instead of you doing the same 45-minute webinar every single day and draining your time and energy, you want to be with your nice husband. By the way, she has a nice husband now. Ooh la la, for many, many years, right? I
Yes.
admire that. You were always an inspiration to me from that story of how you got out of that relationship and you found your Mr. Right and you're the Ms. Right and you have a great relationship now. So you don't have time. You're cooking him dinner, right? You don't have time. You guys are drinking wine together. You don't have time to be doing webinars every day. So Webinarjam, what you do is you record the webinar once, but it's automated and you can do Facebook ads or whatever, and then targeted toward women in your specific group. And then people can sign up, Monday at 11 or Tuesday at 3 p.m. And the webinar rolls out and it's like they're with you. They get to
Oh,
feel you. They get to hear you. They get to see you. When I teach my marketing workshops, I always say people will buy from you if they like, trust, and respect you. And
yes.
they're only going to like, trust, and respect you is if they see you, they hear you, and they feel you, girl. So that webinar is going to be working for you. And you do it once, and then guess what happens? It has a link for your appointment schedule. And then every day you see there's appointments on your calendar. You never have to
Oh,
go to a
wow.
networking group. You never have to go to an expo. Your Webinarjam system, which I believe costs about $500 per year, but it's worth it. One
Oh,
client
yeah.
will pay for itself, right? And the
Oh,
goal
yeah.
is to get like, I don't know, 10 new one-on-one clients and maybe 100 new group coaching clients, right? From
Yeah.
doing one 45-minute webinar. That's a long answer to how you get paid. How you get paid to speak doing a webinar. So it can grow not only your speaking, Carol Ann, because when you put this webinar out there, maybe the YWCA that works with women with domestic violence issues sees it. And they're saying,
Yes.
hey, would you like to speak at our virtual conference? And you say yes, and then you give them your fee.
I like all of that. Wow.
Well, la, la.
So there's a webinar jam is actually a name of something that you can schedule and make it happen.
Yes, it's a scheduler. It's a marketing webinar automation because people were like, well, how is it different than Zoom or how is it different than StreamYard? It is, and how I learned about it because you know what I always say, success leaves clues. And Lisa Nichols, who is a top speaker, right, took
Yes.
her speaking company public,
Oh,
uses Webinarjam to schedule webinars to get people into the seats of her seminars. And now that she's not doing in-person seminars, she gets them into her online virtual.
oh, wow.
Yeah. So it is a great, Webinarjam, I'll put it in the comments so that people can see it. Thank you for reminding me. And Webinarjam is one. There's another one called Easy Webinar, but I like
Okay.
Webinarjam better because that's what all the top speakers are using, my friend, Webinarjam. And I don't make any money promoting Webinarjam. I'm doing it out of the goodness of my heart. But I really, that's one of the things that I have on my marketing strategy to set up for this summer is to do, I'm going to do the same thing I said to you, I'm going to do for myself. I'm going to do a webinar on how to deliver engaging virtual presentations. Everything from how to do polls, how to do breakout groups, how to do, charismatic connection with people, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to give that away for free, 45 minutes. But it's not free. It's a lead generator. So it
Yeah.
will have the call to action to get people into my Be a Paid Speaker Now Academy, into my group coaching programs, et cetera, et cetera. So,
Well, I'm ready for that.
yeah, let's do it.
Sounds fantastic. Well, there are also a lot of virtual conferences right now, and how and when you were talking about people getting people from you get people from your webinar, right? Or from conferences. Uh, I had actually two questions. One of them was, I guess if you give a good webinar, people want to sign up, right? So, but if I attend a virtual conference or I make a conference, how do I get booked for a virtual conference?
Do you want to host a conference or do you want to get booked for a conference?
I want to get booked for a
Okay.
conference. So some organization, because maybe I'll find some new organizations by doing a webinar. So how do I get booked?
Exactly. So, and how you're going to find new organizations by doing a webinar is because that when you do your webinar jam, you're going to do Facebook ads to organizations that help women with domestic violence or any sort of trauma or dysfunctional relationship. You're going to
Yeah.
target, when you do your Facebook ad, you're going to target YWCA. You're going to target any organization
Ah.
that supports these groups, right? So
Oh, targeting. Oh,
you have to target. And that's why Facebook ads work really well, because you're not just putting it out to your own Facebook, you're specifically targeting, you're laser targeting people that like the YWCA or people that work for the YWCA or any, and you Google a list of all domestic violence women's organizations and you add those as interest when you do your Facebook ad. That's how you're going to get the attention of your specific groups. Because one of the things I always say to you, Carol Ann, is it's really difficult when you go one to one. If you're just trying to get one client, you want to go and get an organization like the YWCA or any other organization or association that helps people get out of dysfunctional relationships. Because maybe they want to bring you in as a coach for their organization. I know a lot of yoga teachers that work in sober houses, right? Because
yeah.
they know that yoga reduces stress and will help people stay sober. So your question is how to get booked for virtual conferences. I've had other clients ask me that question as well. And the way you get booked for virtual conferences is the same exact way that you would get booked for a in-person conference. You need to increase brand awareness.
Ah,
Need to increase brand awareness. How are you going to increase brand awareness on if we're not able to be in public?
yeah.
You already know the answer.
Yeah.
Social media, right? And
Right.
all social media is not created equal, right, Carolyn?
Right.
So
Right.
and you've been to lots of my social media digital marketing workshops. So you're going to get a lot more attention, Carol Ann, if you go live, like on this StreamYard or do a Facebook Live, than if you would just put a post with text, right?
Yes.
So you're
Yes.
going to get the least engagement from text, a little bit more with the picture, a lot more with the video, and tons more with the live video. Have you noticed I've been going live a lot? Guess
Yeah.
what happened on Saturday? I've been going live twice a week. So on Saturday, I had a meeting with a business man who said, I've been getting a lot of notifications on YouTube that Deborah Deras is going live. Deborah Deras is going live. And it brought me to the top of his mind, and he has a
Ooh,
business opportunity we could be partners, and it's going to be lucrative for him and lucrative for me. Synergy, which we love, right?
wow.
Hi, Shauna. But do you see, he would not have thought of me unless I had gone live. And so we go live because we want people, you, Carol Ann, you want people to know what is the pain or problem that you solve. And this is why I tell you over and over, be focused, be specific. The riches are in the niches. Don't, because Carol Ann in the beginning used to say, can I tell them that, I help women have a better life. And I said, no, Carol Ann, you have to say, I help women in toxic relationships, right? So
Yep.
important that you say that to get out of them to have a better life. Because when you say that, then all of a sudden, YWCA says, we need her. We're doing a domestic violence conference coming up. She would be the perfect speaker for you. Do you see that?
Oh yeah, I was keeping a secret by just saying women.
Exactly. Oh, I'm so glad you said that. You were keeping a secret, and we don't want to be the best kept secret, right? That's
No.
why I'm a marketing consultant. We want everyone to know how we help them solve their pain and problem. Not because we're being pushy salespeople. No, because we are here. Our soul's contract, you and I know, because we're spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yep.
You are here, Carol Ann, because you have a soul's contract. That's why you're so determined. That's why you take classes. That's why you read books. That's why you never stop learning. I love that about you, that you're such a great lifelong learner. And it's because you know you've come here for a special reason. And so your getting on live isn't like, look at me. Like, I don't even want people to look at me. The only thing I care about is that you hear this message and you're able to take inspired action to transform lives. And guess what happens when you transform lives? You will automatically get paid because the degree that you put out is the degree you get back. It's the law of reciprocity. We learned this
Yes.
from Brian Tracy back in the book Maximum Achievement, right?
Yes. Oh, it's so true. It's all so true.
Are you
Um,
picking up what I'm throwing down?
uh, you betcha. And I've heard it before.
Okay.
I haven't done the live yet, but I will.
And
I
see how we're doing it like this? You don't have to do it alone. You could bring somebody on, right?
Yes.
So maybe
Yes.
there's somebody from your Mary Morrissey group that you feel comfortable with, and maybe you bring them on. You can have two people in a live, and you could have them interview you.
What a great idea, Deborah. You just
Yeah.
those ideas just spill out constantly. Thank you. Thank you.
Divine downloads, friend.
Okay. Well, there was one other thing I was thinking about. So if I give that webinar or a webinar or I'm hearing about challenges. Do you want
Uh-huh.
to say something about what are challenges?
Challenges are really something that's super popular among young people, millennials. And challenges are basically what people are doing on TikTok, which is not an app that I'm using at all, but it is an app that people under 30 are using and a lot of dancers are using. Um, so I really can't speak to challenges. I don't know if you could do like a 21-day. I'm just thinking for your specific getting out of toxic relationship.
Yeah.
Maybe, okay, you're challenging my mind. I'm not doing a divine download, I'm doing an upload because you're making me think of my left brain. But you could do a 21-day self-love challenge. I'm doing
Ooh.
I'm doing this with myself. So one day I do meal prep because that's the way I love myself, by giving myself healthy food. And then one day I do a walk because that's how I love myself, by getting vitamin D. One day I read a book and not watch the news because I want to protect my mind from negativity. So you could have people every day post one thing they're doing for self-love, and it's going to give them so much more confidence to be able to get out of the toxic relationship. Great idea, Carol Ann.
See, I told you, they just spill out from you.
Oh my God, I love it, Carol Ann. Let's schedule a session later and talk more about this. I want to plan.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. I like it. You are so young at heart. You know what I mean? Like, because challenges usually are for like really, really young people, like in their teens. But you
Mhm.
have that teen spirit.
Yes. Well, you can get people excited no matter what their age is. You can get
It's
people
true.
excited about something.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so what's going on with you now? What do you, besides this new idea of a challenge, what are you planning now?
Oh, so what's next?
Yeah, what's next?
Thank you for asking what's next. Yeah. So that, since March came and all of my international speaking, I keep saying this on every podcast because I'm still mourning and I'm allowing
Yes,
myself,
no
I'm allow,
no Italia.
yeah, I'm allowing myself to process it. Remember when we went to San Diego on the train and I was telling you my whole story of Italy, and I was going to
Yes.
be going back this year in July, which I'm not going to be going back, but that's okay. I will go back eventually. So what I have been doing, and I recommend this to my clients that they do the same thing, is I really had to go within, right? Because when we're in a state of fear, we act from scarcity, and when we act from scarcity, it's lack, limitation, and we're really, really blocked because we're looking at the world from a myopic perspective, and we're only able to see virus, pandemic, curfew, right? And there's
Yeah,
no way you can be creative when you're in a blockage
nope.
of a tunnel. So I had to really, increase my meditation, increase my exercise, my self-love, my self-care, my allowing my emotions to come out. And it's funny because my trauma therapist is on the Facebook Live right now on the Be a Paid Speaker. Her name is Shauna Mayer. I'm in her awakening program, and it's
Oh,
how to process emotions. It's like an emotional wellness program, which really, really helped me because self care is so important as an
oh yeah.
entrepreneur. It's important for anybody, but especially as an entrepreneur when things go up and down. And when I finally took care of my mental health, my emotional health, I got a divine download. And the divine download was to start a new program since I'm off the road and I have time to create. And I've been creating, as you may know, tons of webinars, tons of marketing webinars.
Yeah, you're everywhere.
I already had tons of mindset webinars. And before I did that, I was doing law of attraction, manifestation, vision board webinars. So I said, what if I created a program, and it's called Ignite Your Revenue, where I was able to give them all the three M's: mindset, marketing, and manifestation, but in a group coaching format so that everyone could participate no matter what their revenue is or no matter what their income stream is. And so, what I'm doing is every month I do a free webinar, a teaser webinar. And in June, it's going to be, oh my God, I got to look at the calendar. It's going to be on June 18th, which I believe is a Wednesday. No, June 17th. And it's on how to podcast at home. So if
Oh,
anybody is interested in that, you can go to my website, deborahderas.com/webinars. And then if people want to join the Ignite Your Revenue group coaching, they will be invited on that webinar. But they don't have to join. You could just come for the monthly, once a month webinars. But my intention is we have to, you already know this, do the inner work. Because if
yeah.
you learn marketing, but you don't have the belief that you could do a live, it doesn't make sense to do marketing. So our inner world creates our outer world. I learned that from T.R. Becker, author of Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And when we are in alignment, always talk about aligning for success, mind net.
Yes.
It's just we're on fire, right? It's not just having the thoughts, but we're able to manifest it. And we manifest not based on thinking, but based on emotion. When you are excited about something, Carol Ann, or you're passionate about something, or when you're compassionate about helping those women get out of toxic relationship, guess what? People are magnetized to you because you are like that that voice of hope for them. You
Yeah.
are, you know what it was like for your 16-year relationship when you were in that toxic relationship. And you
Yes.
also know what it's like 20 years in your healthy relationship. How
Yeah.
long have you been in? Yeah, 20
Yes.
years. Has it been 20 years?
Yes, it has. Actually, it's been 23.
See, I knew it. So now you've been 23 in a healthy relationship. So you're giving them that hope. that they
Yeah.
can have that too. You are a living, breathing success story. So what's next for me is to help people like you, to help people that are experts, that want to have the constant motivation, because people said, I just wish you were with me in my pocket or something. I'm like, I will be, because I'm going to do weekly trainings, 1 week mindset, 1 week marketing, 1 week manifestation, and then we go back to the beginning of mindset, and they're learn and earns. It's over a Zoom virtual. If you're not there in person, you can do it. You can watch it online. It's going to be in a Facebook group. So that's what I'm excited about. That's my next thing that I'm doing, because just because I'm off the road doesn't mean I have any liberty to feel sorry for myself. My soul's contract is to transform lives, and I need to do it whether I'm on a plane or in my bedroom. I'm in my bedroom right now. It doesn't matter, because we are, Carol Ann, infopreneurs. We have information
Yes.
solves a pain or problem that people have. And it is our duty, it is our obligation to not be the best kept secret, like you said, but to get out there. So, how can people stay connected with you so that they're able to catch your, because I know you're going to do that webinar that I'm going to coach you on. How can they connect with you? What is your website?
My website is my name, Carol Ann DeSalms. I think it's written down somewhere.
Yeah, I have it right below.
Okay, Carol Ann DeSalms dot lifemasteryconsultant.com.
Love it. So Carol Ann DeSalms dot lifemasteryconsulting.com if you want to check out Carol Ann's coaching and her soon to be webinar that I'm going to coach her on, and group programs. And she is going to be speaking at different conferences, both in person and virtually. And I have to tell you, she is one of my um, clients that I'm the most proud of, because I'll tell her, I'll teach a class, and then next thing you know, she's like, I just booked 70 speaking engagements. Remember when you joined that network? And
Yes.
she literally was at expos every week, and she was just speaking, speaking, speaking. She doesn't just listen, she takes inspired action. And you're such a beautiful soul inside and out. And I'm grateful to have you in my life. I'm grateful and I'm inspired by you, just your life story and who you are and what you do and how you have more energy than me. People think I have a lot of energy. Carol Ann and I went on a trip to San Diego. It was a long day trip, and we're all sleeping on the train. And Carol Ann's like, she's ready to party. It's like 10 at night. I'm like, I need your secret. And her secret is living the life of possibilities. And that's what she teaches women. And that's what she can teach you. If you know anybody in a toxic relationship that needs to get out, please connect them with Carol Ann. She is passionate, and she will help them to be free.
One other thing too is my Facebook Higher Vision Consulting. Uh, I have some videos, and I'm going to do a Facebook Live, either if not this week, but next week.
Okay, so those of you that are listening on Facebook, I'll be sure to tag her so that you're going to be able to connect with her that way. And I want to say thank you so much for being the guest host, and thank you all for tuning in. There was a few weeks during the quarantine pandemic where I took a break because I thought, is it the right time to do the show? And I was just kind of feeling sad, because I was isolated. I had no contact with any humans for 45 days. And someone that's a high touch extrovert, it was really challenging not to have the face to face contact. And then I realized, you know what? My purpose and my passion is bigger than anything else. And doing this podcast and having my soul's contract fulfilled is the reason I would get out of bed every morning. And so I said, I have to continue, because even though there may not be paid speaking engagements at conferences, there are virtual conferences, there are webinars, there are online trainings, there's group coaching, there's consulting, all of that you as an expert, that you as a speaker can be paid for, because you are an infopreneur. So it is my duty to help you to connect your message with the messengers that need to hear from you. So thank you so much for being my reason for getting out of bed in the morning. You kept me from a dark depression. And I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to serve. And remember, my friends, you are a messenger for a very important message. And with the power of synergy, anything is possible. Ciao. See you next week.
Ciao. Thank you.